That $825 Yamaha Saltwater Series II propeller sitting behind the glass at your dealer. I cut it in half. And then I cut open the $150 Solas Amita that your dealer will tell you is garbage. I put both cross-sections under an XRF gun at a metals recycler in Tampa, the same handheld spectrometer they use to sort scrap alloys. What that gun showed me is going to make you furious if you just paid dealer price for a premium propeller. But before I get to the alloy results, you need to see what all 5 of these propellers look like on the inside, because the differences are not where you think they are. I bought 5 props across the full price range, all sized for a Yamaha F150, the most common high horsepower outboard on the water right now. The Solas Amita, 3 aluminum, $150. A Turning Point Hustler stainless, $280. A Michigan Wheel Apollo stainless, around $400. A Mercury Enertia stainless at $580. And the Yamaha Saltwater Series II with the SDS hub system, $825. That is almost $2,300 in propellers sitting on a workbench, and I took an angle grinder to all of them. The first thing you notice when you cut a propeller blade in cross-section is how thin stainless blades actually are compared to aluminum. The Solas aluminum blade measured almost twice as thick at the widest point as the Mercury Enertia. That is not a flaw in the aluminum prop. It is physics. Aluminum is about 1/3 the strength of stainless steel, so the blade has to be thicker to handle the same load. Thicker blade means more drag in the water, which means you lose 2 to 4 miles per hour at the top end compared to a stainless of the same pitch. That speed difference is real, and it is measurable. The forums on The Whole Truth are full of GPS test logs showing exactly that gap. So the aluminum to stainless jump is a legitimate performance upgrade, and I'm not making that up. You can see the cross-section right here. Now here's where it gets interesting. Among the 4 stainless propellers, blade thickness varied far less than the price tags suggest. The Turning Point Hustler at $280 and the Yamaha Saltwater Series II at $825 had blade profiles within a few thousandths of an inch of each other at matching radial stations. The Mercury Enertia was the thinnest of the group, noticeably so at the blade tips, which is consistent with Mercury's claim that their X7 alloy allows more aggressive blade geometry. That thinner blade tip is doing real work in the water, reducing drag right where rotational speed is highest. Pay attention to this next detail, because it explains everything about propeller pricing. When I took all 5 props to a metals recycler in Tampa and hit each cross-section with their handheld XRF gun, the alloy results told a clear story. The Solas Amita came back as A356 aluminum, which is a casting alloy with about 7% silicon and a fraction of a percent magnesium. This is exactly the same alloy family that every aluminum propeller manufacturer uses, including Mercury's Mercalloy, which is just A356 with the copper content held below 0.2% for better saltwater corrosion resistance. There is no mystery metal, no secret formula. Standard foundry alloy, well executed. The 4 stainless props split into 2 camps. The Turning Point Hustler, the Michigan Wheel Apollo, and the Yamaha Saltwater Series II all came back as 17-4 pH stainless steel, which is a precipitation hardening grade with about 17% chromium and 4% nickel. This is the same alloy family used in aerospace landing gear and surgical instruments. Good stuff. But all 3 of them were running the same alloy family from different foundries at prices ranging from $280 to $825. The Mercury Enertia was the only propeller in the group with a distinctly different alloy. Mercury calls it X7, and the XRF confirmed a composition that does not match standard 17-4 pH. Mercury claims X7 is 30% stronger and 4 times more durable than conventional stainless, and the grain structure, visible in the cross-section, was noticeably finer and more uniform than the Turning Point or Michigan Wheel. Whether that translates to 30% stronger in real-world use, I cannot verify on a workbench, but the metallurgy is genuinely different. That is not marketing. So 3 out of 4 stainless propellers are made from the same alloy family. The price difference between them is not coming from the metal. Where is it coming from? The hub. I pulled the hub assemblies apart on all 5 props, and this is the part the spec sheets never show you. The Yamaha SDS hub is a multi-piece assembly with a thick rubber dampener ring engineered specifically to absorb the shift clunk that Yamaha F150 owners have complained about on The Whole Truth for years. That rubber ring and the machined housing around it account for a significant chunk of the price difference between the Yamaha prop and every aftermarket option. The Mercury Enertia uses Mercury's Flow Torque 4 hub kit, which is a separate purchase, and it does a similar dampening job through a different mechanical approach. The Solas Rubex interchangeable hub system on the turning point was functional, but the rubber insert felt noticeably softer and thinner. Forum users report Rubex hubs wearing out around 150 hours of hard use, while the Mercury and Yamaha systems go 300 hours or more before they need replacement. This is the hidden consumable in Propeller ownership. Your hub rubber is a wear item, and nobody puts that on the spec sheet. If you want the full teardown-backed verdicts on which outboard brands and components are actually worth paying for, not just propellers, but engines, lower units, electronics, everything I have cut open over the past 2 years, that is all in the Outboard Blacklist and Buy List inside the bilge files. 6 guides, $20, no sponsors involved. Scan the QR code or hit the link in the description and pinned comment. If you're finding this useful, subscribe. I cut open marine equipment every week so you do not have to. Now let me show you the pitch accuracy results, because this is where cheap props earn their reputation and where expensive props sometimes do not deserve theirs. I measured each blade against its claimed pitch using a pitch block gauge, checking at multiple radial stations. The ISO 484 standard defines 4 accuracy classes. Class 3 allows up to 4% deviation per blade. Class S, the tightest, allows less than 1%. The Solas aluminum came in at roughly Class 2 accuracy out of the box, which is honestly better than I expected at $150. The Turning Point Hustler was Class 2 as well. The Michigan Wheel Apollo measured right at Class 1. The Mercury Enertia was the tightest of the group, approaching Class S accuracy on 2 of 3 blades. The Yamaha Saltwater Series II? Class 2. On an $825 propeller. That means a $280 turning point and an $825 Yamaha came off the factory floor with functionally identical pitch accuracy. And here's the part that should change how you think about propeller purchases forever. A competent prop shop with a prop scan or Hale MRI machine can tune any of these propellers to Class S accuracy for about $100 to $200. That tune typically recovers 2 to 3 knots of top speed and 10 to 15% fuel economy. So a $280 turning point plus a $150 Class S tune gives you better pitch accuracy than a factory-fresh Yamaha at $825 for roughly half the price. So what should you actually buy? If you run a Yamaha F150 on a boat under 22 feet and you're not chasing every last mile per hour, the Solas Amita 3 at $150 is honest money. The squeeze cast aluminum is stronger than people give it credit for, and when you hit a sandbar, and you will hit a sandbar, replacing a $150 prop does not ruin your weekend. If you want real performance, and you are willing to do one extra step, the Mercury Enertia with a quality hub kit is the best engineered propeller in this group. The X7 alloy is not marketing nonsense. It is a genuinely different metal, and the blade geometry that alloy enables delivers measurable speed and fuel economy gains. Budget $550 to $650 total with the hub kit. If you already own a damaged OEM prop, do not buy a new one. Take it to a prop shop for a Class S tune first. $150 at a good shop will recover more performance than a brand new propeller of the same spec. The only reason to buy the Yamaha Saltwater Series II at $825 is the integrated SDS hub system. If shift clunk at idle drives you crazy and you want a dealer-warranted one-piece solution, that is what you're paying for. You're not paying for better metal or tighter pitch. You're paying for a rubber dampener and a Yamaha logo. Same alloy, different price tag on the transom. The forums all say the same thing. One last thing. Every spring before your first trip, pull your prop off, inspect the hub rubber for cracking or compression set, and check behind the prop for fishing line wrapped around the shaft seal. That is a 2-minute job with a prop wrench. It costs you nothing, and a compromised shaft seal will let salt water into your lower unit and destroy a $2,000 gear case. I have seen it happen to boats that were less than a year old. 2 minutes. Do it every season. YouTube thinks you'll like one of these 2 videos, so click whichever one grabs you. And if you made it to the end, subscribe. I cut this stuff open every week, so you do not have to.